Hello, everyone. Welcome to our space here. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Sandra, and I'm a breathwork facilitator, a certified breathwork facilitator, certified yoga teacher, and I'm here with my wonderful sister Hannah.
Mm.
Hi, Hannah.
Hello, Sandra. Hello, universe. It's Hannah. I am also a breathwork facilitator, a psychologist. So together, Sandra and I co-created a wonderful program, the Women's Freedom Tribe, which I imagine you have found because you're here listening to us. And we would just like to say a few words about what we are creating, the space that we hold, the program, and always feel free to reach out to us with any questions.
Yeah. Mm. And Hannah, we could talk a little bit about why we have created a space, especially for women. So for us, the safety was really important, right? So the safety to be in a space where we can explore expanded state of consciousness through the breath work and through the medicine of rapé that we will talk about, and also through the medicine of cacao. And perhaps we can talk a little bit about what are expanded states of consciousness. So, how do you feel an expanded state of consciousness in your own practice, Hannah?
Mm. Yeah, so it's really important to consciously enter expanded states of consciousness. They're happening all the time. Every day, we are drifting between states of consciousness, just going from being asleep to wakefulness, to being in a deep conversation with someone, to being entranced by our devices, our phones. We are constantly shifting between states. But the beautiful thing about intentionally entering an expanded state is the potential to access different parts of ourselves consciously. So, to access the subconscious, to access healing processes, and most importantly, to connect with our inner wisdom, or you can also say the wisdom of the body or the inner healer. And that's really the core of what this work is about, is that every one of us has this innate capacity to heal ourselves, and that the body has an innate orientation towards healing or wholeness, right? So just as the body naturally heals itself when you get a cut, so does the psyche, so does the soul, every part of us. And this is what we're doing when we create these spaces of feeling safe enough to let go of our thinking mind and sink into that deeper wisdom of the body.
Hmm.
How do you
Yeah.
feel, Sandra? Anything to add?
Hmm. Yeah. One vision came up now while you were talking about the subconscious mind or the unconscious, the unknown, and that what we call the everyday monkey mind or the everyday mind that we are used to when we get up and we do our things that we need to do. So it's like the tip of the iceberg. No, there is an iceberg, and the tip of the iceberg is our conscious day-to-day mind where we are functioning. And sometimes we have these patterns in our life that are disturbing our wellness and our joy and living fully. So sometimes we feel we are functioning but not living fully. And actually, the answers lie in our deep subconscious. And there are layers that need to be peeled off like an onion. So we peel off the layers and we come to our true core, what we really are, and where we feel at home in our hearts. So it's actually a peeling off things that we don't need anymore, that are disturbing to ourselves and to our communities, our families, our environments where we live in, and to come through these practices into a more truthful and connected way of living. And what do I mean with connected? Connected for me means to be connected to my own inner guiding intelligence or inner wisdom, as you said, Hannah, and also connected to the natural world around of me. So the birds and the soil and the water, the elements, the animals, the plants. And to go from this tip of the iceberg that we see above the ocean down into the ocean where this immense being of us can be explored. And we are so much wiser and bigger than we think that we are.
Mm.
Hmm.
Beautiful. Yeah, and indeed, it's exactly about this connection and this coming home, sort of. I also like to see it as a coming home to ourselves, to our bodies, to our communities, to our ecosystem. This deep sense of coming home to the planet, actually, and realizing, oh yeah, we're all in this together. And especially as women, I mean, this is a part of why we create spaces specifically for women, is this deep feminine principle of being connected to the earth, being connected to the cyclical nature of the earth and of ourselves, which it is so easy to disconnect from in our day-to-day lives in this kind of masculine dominant world, you could say. So in a sense, it's also that coming home to community within women and coming home to rest and to the deep power that we possess in being feminine, just as we are masculine, but just really making space for that to be there as well. That is, yeah, really a great passion of mine.
So beautiful. Yeah. And you know what came in now was also the connection to our ancestors, or also the family line that sometimes we want to understand a little bit more, but also step out of patterns that we see in our family line and to heal these patterns, how we grew up. And we don't want to go on with this anymore, but we don't know how. So the healing of our ancestral lines is also an important part that we can tap in through the breathwork and through the medicines that we offer,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So the personal is the collective and is the ancestral. And there are so many layers of the work that we do. And we could, I think Sandra and I, we could just spiral into all these different kind of avenues of where the breath can take us, because it takes us to these kind of limitless space of possibility and working with the ancestors, working with the collective feminine, and all of these themes are coming up with the breath. So maybe it's useful for us to talk a bit about what is really breath work and what are the other kind of tools and methods that we are using in our space. So, what is breath work for you, Sandra?
That's a beautiful question. Thank you. So, I need to go back to my first breathwork session at this point, where I was in a really dark place in my life. I had severe PTSD and I was not happy with the life that I was leading. I'm coming from a background of being an actress, being judged all the time, and feeling like in a prison that I put myself into. And I went to a retreat with the sacred medicine of mushrooms. And on the first day, we had a breathwork session. And this breathwork session took me into my deepest grief and my deepest joy. And I didn't even know that I had the power to access that. So this magic that came in through the breath, and we all breathe, but we do it unconsciously. So the breath actually can be accessed unconsciously and consciously. And we breathe deep in our sessions. We breathe deep and we go deep. So I could transform then, going on with my practice and becoming a facilitator. I tapped into my true self. And I'm still working on that, of course, because this is a work that we do for our whole lives, right? But through this practice of this amazing breath that is given to us from our first breath when we come into this world till our last breath, this magical breath, we can go so deep into our psyche. And this psyche that knows how to heal itself, like Hannah said in the beginning. So I transformed my life completely for being a completely judged and unhappy actress to holding sacred and safe space for others and exploring myself. How was it for you, Hannah?
Yeah, I sense in your story a real deep empowerment. And that's exactly how it was for me as well. Real sense of empowerment. And as we were saying, also this sense of accessing the true self. I remember in one of my early sessions just having this really deep sense of calm and kind of a message coming up that was, you are exactly where you are supposed to be. And during a time where I was stressed, I was living in my mind, I was not sure which direction to take in my life. And then having this affirmation coming from within, it taught me how to listen to myself, really, in a deep way. To listen to what will fulfill me from within rather than what I believe is expected of me or what has been conditioned into me. It's sort of this peeling of the layers, as you were talking about as well. Peeling the layers until I realize, okay, this is how my essence wants to express itself in this lifetime, in this very short blip of a lifetime. This is me, so I might as well embrace it and listen, actually. So this sense of listening, of self-empowerment is what breathwork really means and why I am so excited always to share it with people. This sense of like, oh, there's so much wisdom already there that you just need to access.
That's so beautiful, Hannah. And I could feel this surrender coming in your talk right now, what you were talking about. So the aspect of surrender is a really important one and really deep one that we would like to offer in this retreat as well through other tools like rapé and the cacao medicine.